Let's talk about the one thing we all secretly dread during a disaster. Eating food that tastes like it was scraped off the floor of a cardboard factory. Sure, survival is the goal, but why not survive comfortably? In this video, we'll walk through the survival foods you should stockpile that don't taste like cardboard. Because, let's face it, if the world ends, at least we deserve some decent food while we wait it out. No need to be miserable and eat terribly, right? Let's kick things off with a scenario. You're huddled up in your bunker, the apocalypse has hit, and you're staring down a pile of canned beans, bland crackers, and possibly the saddest packet of powdered soup you've ever seen. Sound familiar? Well, that's because this is what most people think of when they imagine survival food. Sure, it keeps you alive, but so would chewing on the cardboard box that your now useless Amazon Echo came in. The thing is, if you're prepping, it doesn't mean you need to accept eating like a cave troll. Survival Nutrition 101: How to keep your taste buds alive. The key to surviving long-term is more than just calories. Your body needs nutrition, variety, and dare I say it, flavor. Studies show that people who have a variety of food choices are more likely to maintain better physical and mental health during prolonged survival situations. In fact, during World War II, soldiers' morale dropped significantly when forced to eat the same bland rations day in and day out. According to research by the U.S. Army, psychological fatigue from repetitive meals is real. It's called food monotony fatigue, and you can imagine how much worse it is when the food itself already tastes terrible. So, let's dive into survival foods that will not only keep you healthy, but might even make the end of the world a little more bearable. 1. Freeze-dried meals. Gourmet apocalypse. Freeze-dried meals are basically the astronaut's secret weapon to not hating life in space. These aren't your grandma's TV dinners. Freeze-drying locks in the flavor and nutrients. So all you need is a bit of hot water to bring these meals back to life. Think savory beef stew, chicken curry, and even dessert options like freeze-dried cheesecake. According to Mountain House, one of the top suppliers of freeze-dried foods, their products can last up to 30 years if stored properly. That's 3 decades of deliciousness in your bunker, folks. Compare that to canned food, which typically lasts 2 to 5 years, and you're winning just by shelf life alone. Plus, the weight of freeze-dried foods is about 80 to 90% lighter than canned goods, meaning you can store a lot more of it without turning your house into a pantry of sadness. 2. Peanut butter, the protein powerhouse. I'm not saying peanut butter is the secret to surviving the apocalypse, but I'm not saying that either. Peanut butter is a protein-packed, shelf-stable miracle. A single jar of peanut butter can last about 2 years if unopened, and it's filled with healthy fats, protein, and enough calories to keep you energized through tough times. A study from Harvard Health says that nuts and peanut butter are linked to reduced heart disease, which could come in handy when stress levels skyrocket during societal collapse. And let's be real, if you're going to eat something for days on end, it might as well be something that goes great with literally everything. Crackers, bread, fruit, or straight off a spoon. No shame. 3. Jerky, the ancient snack that still slaps. Jerky has been the go-to survival food for millennia, and for good reason. High in protein, low in fat, and packed with flavor, jerky can be made from beef, turkey, fish, or even more exotic meats. Historically, Native Americans used jerky to survive long winters, drying out buffalo and other game for months of storage. Modern-day jerky can last over a year without refrigeration, and it's also lightweight and compact. Perfect for those of you planning to bug out rather than bunker down. And if you're worried about the sodium content, there are low-sodium versions available. Because even in the apocalypse, we've got to watch our blood pressure, right? 4. Quinoa, the superfood of the future. Say goodbye to rice. Quinoa is the true king of grains. Not only is it packed with protein, but it's also a complete protein, meaning it contains all 9 essential amino acids your body needs. Plus, quinoa has a long shelf life, up to 3 to 5 years if stored in an airtight container. A report from the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, called quinoa one of the most nutritious and resilient crops available. So, not only will it keep you alive, it might make you feel like you're thriving. Plus, it's easy to cook, even in survival scenarios, and pairs well with almost anything, from freeze-dried meals to jerky. 5. Canned fish. Omega-3s for the end times, forget canned tuna. Think higher-end canned fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel. These little guys are packed with omega-3 fatty acids, which are essential for brain health. And believe me, you'll need that when you're fending off post-apocalyptic zombies, or more likely, figuring out how to rebuild society. The FDA recommends at least 2 servings of omega-3 rich fish per week, to maintain heart and brain health. During a disaster, this could be key to keeping your body in top shape while other resources are scarce. And canned fish lasts a solid 3 to 5 years, which means you won't be going back to bland food anytime soon. 6. Dark chocolate, morale in a bar. Okay, hear me out. Dark chocolate isn't just a treat, it's a necessity. Studies from the British Medical Journal show that dark chocolate can reduce stress, improve cognitive function, and even support cardiovascular health. Plus, it has a longer shelf life than you'd think, up to 2 years if stored in a cool, dry place. Now imagine the world has gone to hell, and after a long day of surviving, you sit down with a bar of rich, 70% cacao dark chocolate. It's the little things that keep you sane. If you're prepping, throw in a stash of chocolate. Your future self will thank you. 7. Honey, nature's eternal sweetener. Did you know that archaeologists have found pots of honey in ancient Egyptian tombs that are over 3,000 years old and still perfectly edible? Honey is literally nature's version of immortality. It never goes bad. Rich in antioxidants, honey is also great for soothing sore throats, healing wounds. Yes, it's antibacterial, and even boosting your immune system. In a world where medicine might be scarce, honey could be your go-to for more than just sweetening your tea. 8. Lentils, the underrated protein bomb. If you're looking for something that's both filling and nutritious, lentils are your best friend. They're high in protein, fiber, and iron, and they have a shelf life of 2 to 3 years. Plus, lentils are super easy to cook, even over a campfire, and they absorb flavors beautifully, making them a versatile addition to any meal. According to the USDA, lentils are a low-cost, high-nutrient food source that can easily replace meat in a survival scenario, providing up to 18 grams of protein per cup. So, while your neighbors are gnawing on bland crackers, you can be enjoying a hearty lentil stew. 9. Powdered milk. Calcium for the long haul. Before you dismiss powdered milk as something that tastes like chalk dust, consider this. It's packed with protein, calcium, and vitamin D, and it has a shelf life of up to 20 years if properly sealed. A 2018 study by the National Institute of Health found that dairy products help support bone health, reduce the risk of osteoporosis, and even improve mood during stressful times. In a survival situation where fresh dairy might be out of the question, powdered milk is a godsend. 10. Pasta. The comfort food of survivors last but certainly not least, pasta. It's the ultimate comfort food. It's easy to store, easy to cook, and you can pair it with almost anything. And with a shelf life of 2-3 years, pasta is one of the most reliable staples you can have in your pantry. The beauty of pasta is its versatility. Whether you're adding freeze-dried vegetables, jerky, or a simple tomato sauce from your canned stash, pasta gives you a filling, hearty meal without much fuss. And let's be real, nothing beats a good plate of pasta, even when the world is ending. Honorable mentions, coffee and tea. Because let's face it, without caffeine, some of us won't make it through day 1. Coffee and tea, when stored properly, have a shelf life of 2 years. Not only do they provide a much-needed energy boost, but they're also great for morale. If you're going to wake up to a post-apocalyptic world, you might as well do it with a cup of coffee in hand. In conclusion, prepping for disaster doesn't have to mean settling for bland, tasteless food. With these essentials, you can stockpile a variety of foods that are nutritious, long-lasting, and, dare I say it, delicious. So when the world crumbles, at least your taste buds won't have to suffer. Like and subscribe to keep the evil cardboard food monster at bay during your doomsday preps. Hopefully none of this prepping will be necessary, but stay safe. And Godspeed, my friends.